Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Oh Brother Comics and happy Friday. I hope you all had a great week. Well, we're here to give you our 10 and 10 video, which is our review video where we take 10 books from this last Wednesday, September 8th, 2021, and we let you know what we thought about it. So we try and get this done in 10 minutes or less, so time's of the essence. Let's get to it. Nick, you're up, brother. What do you have for us?
All right, so first up for me is Black Manta #1 by DC Comics. This is written by Chuck Brown and illustrated by Valentine DeLandro. First off, I love the art by DeLandro. It looks amazing throughout the issue. Now, onto the story. To say I was lost is a bit of an understatement. I had to read the issue a couple of times to really understand what was happening. It also took me through my second reading of the issue to realize the narration is Black Manta writing a letter to his son in the event of his death. So now that I fully understood the issue, I liked it. With a bit more context and background, maybe like a prologue or something, kind of like they do in the beginning of each of the Star Wars comics or Star Trek comics, that would have been very helpful. But overall, it was a good story. Looking forward to continuing it, but I definitely need a bit more context going forward to really get into it. So with this one, I rated it at a 3.0 out of 5.
The next book we will be talking about is Daredevil #34 by Marvel, of course. The writer is Chip Darsky, and the artist is Stefano Landini. And I really did like this book. Matt Murdock is spun out on drugs. He's causing prison riots. He is causing anarchy. Elektra is taking up the role as Deadpool, and Bullseye is running amok. This story really felt like a burden, not to read, but for a burden on Elektra, trying to maintain the peace, and I could feel the tension in the book and coming out of the pages. So it was very exciting, and I really want to see how Matt Murdock kind of plays a role into this, because now he's going after Bullseye, and he is spun out on this new drug, and he's kind of losing his mind. And he's definitely out of character, to say the least. So I really liked it. I'm going to give this book a stout-hearted 3.7. And I totally recommend it.
And for our next book, we went The Last Book You'll Ever Read, #2. It's written by Colin Bunn and art is by Leela Lays. Now, this book is really starting to grow on me. We continue alongside the author of the book called Satire, and she is getting all kinds of protests everywhere she goes because it continues to just bring out the lust and the hate and the animalistic tendencies of humankind to anyone that reads this book, and no one really knows why. But I'm beginning to suspect that the author may be a satyr herself. She loves to drink, she's very lustful, and she is definitely not stopping anything about reading this book to people on her tour. So I have my suspicions. I rated this a 3.8 out of 5. It is a great book. I'm looking forward to the next issue.
Up next for me is The Last Flight Out #1 of 6 by Dark Horse Comics. This is written by Mark Guggenheim and illustrated by Eduardo Ferragato. So there is so much to say about this book, but if I need to sum it up in one word, it's just wow. This book blew me away. It is so good. The art is amazing, and the writer does it complete justice. So the premise of the story is the end of the world due to climate change. A brilliant trillionaire engineer has dedicated his life to building these Ark spaceships. They've launched 2 already, and this is the 3rd and final ship. I was completely blown away. I'm like speechless about this whole comic. This is the only time that I have ever rated a comic this high, and this one I had no choice but to give it a 5 out of 5. And this is absolutely my pick of the week, my pick of the month, my pick of the year. This is just an amazing comic, so I suggest go out and pick it up as soon as you can. I can totally see this comic being option for a movie or like an HBO TV show, something. It's really that good.
Next book that we're going to talk about is Maze Book #1 by Dark Horse. This book was written and illustrated by Jeff Lemire. I believe this was the same dude that did Sweet Tooth. That's why like the cover looked really familiar to me. It's kind of a very similar art style. Man, this book was something else, dude. Like it was really a beautiful kind of sad. It was almost like the art and the flow and like the style of it was almost like poetic, man. Like this was just a really heavy book, and I think it really just kind of hits home when the main character Will, he is dealing with grief from the loss of his daughter, and he's kind of doing his mundane day to day, and it's like it really sounds like a downer book, but it's not. It's actually like really, I don't already said the word beautiful, but that's like all that comes to mind. It's like really beautiful. I really want to give this book a candid 3.9. Really recommend it out to people. It's just, I know I'm like a broken record, but like it was just like such a genuine, authentic book. Like I felt like it was coming out of, like, I can't speak for Jeff Lemire, but like it felt like it was something that was kind of coming from his heart. Beautifully done.
And for our next book, we went with The Me You Love in the Dark #2. It's written by Scotty Young and art is by George Corona. This book is really doing magic, and Scotty Young has really hooked me in with this issue. The art is amazing, the writing is great, and I just can't praise it enough. After reading this, it just had me so hyped for the next issue. I can't wait. This continues following along the artist Ro, who is looking to reinvigorate her fire and her passion in her art, and she goes and rents this haunted house that now she finally has actually met the entity or the spirit that's living in there, and it's quite interesting. I rated this a solid 4.8. I can't wait for the next issue. It is my pick of the week. Guys, don't sleep on this. I can see this book being huge. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait.
All right, third up for me is Star Trek The Mirror Way #0 by IDW. Sorry, Mirror War is the title. But this is written by Scott and David Tipton and illustrated by Carlos Nieto. So this is just a fun issue that follows the crew of the ISS Enterprise D in the Mirror Universe. Not USS, because it's the Mirror Universe. When they last left off, they tried to steal the USS Enterprise D for the Empire, but failed and lost Lieutenant Barclay in the process. This story is about the Enterprise crew being summoned back to Earth to meet with the Empire and report on their failures. So this one I rated at a 3.2 out of 5.
The next book I'll be talking to you about is Elric, The Dreaming City #2 by Titan. This book is absolutely phenomenal. It is my pick of the week right out the gate. I'm just going to tell you. The writer is Julian Blondel and John Lucano. The artist is Julian Tello. Man, everything about this book is just cinematic. It is big. It is done on a large scale. Every single panel is just huge. Like you could take every panel and put it as like a poster on your wall. Like it's all just so larger than life, and it is so exciting and it sucks me in. This book is easily a mesmerizing 4.9. It gets the 49er score. Pick of the week. Read Elric. Collect Elric. It's friggin' bomb.
For the next book, we also went with A Nice House on the Lake #4, and it's really no question. This is an amazing book. It's written by James Tynion, and art is by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. The art is continuing to be great and really puts you into the feeling and the theme of the story, and Tynion's writing is just top notch. We continue following along the guests at the house, and they continue to give us a little more backstory on each one of them, as well as just enough of a story with what's going on in their predicament in this house and with Walter, the alien entity that is their friend supposedly. And I can't wait. Tynion is killing it. This book is great. Continue reading it, guys. I can't wait for the next issue. This was a solid 4 out of 5 this week.
All right, last up for me is Star Wars Adventures #9 by IDW. It is written by Michael Morici and illustrated by Michael Avon Boeming. Hopefully I said that right. So I thought it was a good first appearance for Boba Fett. I like that they're bringing in all these different little canon stories that kind of make it into a smaller galaxy, I guess. Like more of the characters have had interactions, even if they didn't really realize it at the time. But yeah, they're just fun short stories, and they are canon, so that's awesome. And overall, I rated this at a 3.2 out of 5.
Well, all right, guys, we did it. We made it within 10 minutes of this review. I hope you all enjoyed the list that we put together for you guys. It was a lot of fun to make, and there were so many great books that Matt, Nick, and myself just couldn't wait to talk about. These books have been fire. Well, we hope you again enjoyed the video. We ask that if you enjoyed it, please definitely hit that thumbs up button. It helps us out a lot. And while you're there, please hit that subscribe button. We're constantly bringing out new content, and we'd love to see what you guys think about it. Guys, thanks again. We will see you all hopefully this weekend. You guys have a great weekend and be safe. We'll catch you all later.